This is a review I've been wanting to do for a while now. It's been a year. I bought these pairs of rustic black. I bought this pair of rustic black Blundstones about a year ago. You can see the difference between what they look like when they're new and what they look like now. Obviously, they're more grayer than they looked when I first got them. They were blacker, and now they are more grayer. Now, first of all, let's talk about the fact that these are pretty awesome boots. I'm very happy with them. I wear them all the time. I would say over the course of the year, I wore them probably 75% of the time. I wore them in the summer in New York because it wasn't so hot there. I wear it for hiking. I wear it in the winter when it's raining, snow, slush, and so on. These are not good boots if you live in a very cold climate because they're not insulated. But they will keep your feet dry. So if you want to wear thick socks, that's important. So let's talk about a few things here. Why did I go for these? When I went to shop, I read some reviews online, and I saw that a very popular pair of boots are the Redbacks. Okay, also Australian boots. The Redbacks are actually made in Australia. You could see side by side between the Blundstones in this picture here and between the Redbacks. I'll tell you my opinion. I put on both boots. The Redbacks were definitely more comfortable. They felt like I was wearing a pair of walking shoes. They were super comfortable. They had a nice bouncy feel to them. They have more foam in them, definitely more comfortable. So why did I go with the Blundstones if the Redbacks were comfortable? I went with the Blundstones because I liked the rustic feel, the rustic look. I liked the suede. One was the look. The other reason I went with it is if you look at the photo, the Redback looks a little bit more bulkier. There's something about it. It looks more like a boot, like a work boot. And actually, they advertise it on their website as it being more of a work boot or a hiking boot. If you want something that's a little bit more stylish and will keep your feet dry and that's good for hiking, you might want to go with the Blundstones. If you want something that's going to be designed for a work boot with a high level of slip resistance, and I'm going to get to that in a second, and with superior comfort, then you might want to go with the Redback. So I chose the Blundstones. Now I could tell you, it's been a year since I had these, and actually, every time I put them on, I actually enjoy wearing them. Part of the reason why I got these was I always wanted to wear boots. I like the idea of wearing boots. Cowboy boots, not my thing. So I like the idea of wearing boots. I don't know why, but it's really fun. In the winter, in the summer, people wear Blundstones. They're kind of cool. They're in style all over. And so people like to wear it. I got these boots because actually they're kind of cool. I asked my family what they thought. Should I get this rustic black? And they all liked it. So I decided to go with these because they had a nice little, nice cool feel. My kids bought the rustic brown and they would have bought this rustic black had it come out 2 years ago. At the time of this video, it's been out in the market. But when they bought their rustic brown boots, it was not in the market yet. So I got these rustic black ones and I'm happy with them. I really enjoy wearing them. I had these for a year. As you can see, they look pretty clean. They do look grayer than when I bought them. That's normal. That happens over time. You're gonna lose the color. That's just with any pair of shoes unless you're gonna polish them. Now, this is something I need to point out from the beginning. These boots, it's hard to figure out exactly what the material is. They're definitely leather. But the question is whether they are Nubuck or Suede or something else is a question. Now, from what I understand, these boots are Nubuck leather. The difference between Nubuck and Suede is a rougher, grainier material. If you take a pair of moccasins and you look at the inside, that's more of like a Suede. This is more of like a Nubuck. Let's talk about how to care for your boots when you first buy them. You're going to buy your rustic black or rustic brown Blundstones boots. Now, what you want to do is right when you buy it, you want to treat it. Now, there are different ways of treating it. You could buy a, Kiwi protective spray and so on. Now, I need to make this very clear. This is a Nubuck leather. Okay, with the Nubuck leather, you do not put mink oil on these boots. You don't put mink oil on Nubuck. You don't do that. Why? Because it's supposed to be like a soft, velvety feel. Part of the reason why you're going to put a cream like a mink oil on your shoes or boots when you first buy them is to soften the leather. Okay, this is important. People buy mink oil, they put a shoe cream on the boot to soften the leather so it doesn't crack. That is with a smooth, shiny leather. When you're working with Nubuck, it already is soft. It is soft from the store. It is soft from the factory. Nubuck leather is going to be a softer leather. That's why you don't need to treat it with a shoe cream or mink oil to keep it soft. You don't need to put anything on it except for a spray. I was looking online trying to understand it. It's the difference in texture between a smooth leather and a Nubuck leather. Okay, so a smooth leather, a shiny smooth leather, you'll need to treat it to prevent it from cracking. A suede Nubuck leather mostly doesn't crack. You buy the boot, you spray it with the kiwi spray, you spray it with the woolly spray, you spray it with some type of spray that's going to protect it from stains. And you could spray it with another spray that protects it makes it water resistant. Or you could just buy that one spray that Kiwi sells, that shoe care spray that does the all-in-one. Blundstone does sell a rejuvenating cream for these types of boots. That is something, if you want to buy, that's fine. They sell rustic black, rustic brown rejuvenating cream. You can get that. One thing that I wanted to purchase, that I did actually purchase, was a rejuvenating spray in black, designed for suede boots. As you can see, this is gray. The spray that you spray on it has a little of a black into it, so it makes it darker than your color, so it restores it back to its original black color. So now, what you're going to do is when you get these boots, the first thing you want to do is you want to treat it with a kiwi spray. It could be any type of spray. Now, what I've got here was a Wally spray. I think this is some type of British product. I haven't seen it in many stores. It's in milliliters, and not British, sorry, European. And it actually has good reviews on Amazon, maybe Amazon.uk. I checked it out after I bought it. And this spray, the Wally spray, if you can get hold of it, it's actually pretty cool because it says it provides extra protection for 15 rainy days per time you spray it. So when you spray it, unlike many sprays you need to wait like 24 hours, this you spray, you only need to wait 15 minutes and you could wear your boots. That's generally what I do when I buy boots, is that I give it a spray. Now, I didn't find anywhere on the site, it says the leather is a waterproof based leather or water resistant leather. So it's very unclear how water resistant these boots are. Let's talk about waterproofing. Are these boots waterproof? Okay, so I've definitely worn them in the rain. I've worn them in puddles. I've worn them in slushy, wet water, snowy, slushy water. And I've actually stepped into the lake with these boots. As you can see here, I'm stepping into the lake. The water came up to about here. The water rushes off. I think that's one of the things that when you get one of these sprays, the water just speeds up and rushes off. But I can honestly tell you my feet were completely dry. I've never had water seep into these boots. I've worn them hiking through mud. I've worn them in the winter. I've worn them when there has been a downpour. My feet have stayed dry. So that's definitely a great thing. It's possible that your feet will stay completely dry if you don't spray them, but you don't buy a pair of Nubuck boots and you don't treat them. That's kind of silly. So you should definitely spray them, and then they'll for sure be waterproof, completely solid, wonderful, everyone's happy. Let's talk about sizing. One of the things that I think is important is the sizing. A lot of people may not be familiar with the pair of Blundstones and never wear slip-on boots. Now, sizing is very important because if you want to wear the boots that they're going to fit you tight, you're probably going a bit too small. I know they fit snug, but you have to think about something. These are slip-on boots. They have to slip on easily. Now, according to Blundstones, there should be some slippage. So when you're walking, you should feel the boot slipping a little bit on the back. It's normal. If you wear it too tight, and I think I could have gone a half a size higher. Okay, these were size 9.5. I could have gone with a 10. I think the sizes are off because I wear 11, 10.5, 11. I think I could have gone with a half a size higher. Why? When you're walking or hiking downhill, you're going to feel your toes hitting the front. Now, I know what people are thinking. If your toes are hitting the front, it means your boot is too big because you're sliding. No, it means your boot is too small. If your toes are hitting the front, it means your boot, when you're walking on a downhill, it's because your boot is too small. Your foot should slide a little bit when you're walking downhill. If you have the right size boot and you're walking downhill, your toes should not hit the front. So I find often if I feel my toes in the front, probably have to cut my toenails. Think about the size, make sure you're comfortable with it. Understand you don't want to get small because once you wear it and it's too tight, you're going to regret it. I feel sometimes that it's a little bit squishy on the side here by my pinky toe. Let's talk about, when we talk about comfort, let's talk about insoles. So what I did was, I wasn't so comfortable with the shoes. So what I did was I went out and I got these Pro Foot, these are like very dinky. These are called Miracle insoles. I don't know much about them. I just know they have good reviews on Amazon. I saw it at one of the local supermarkets, and I don't know why supermarket was carrying insoles. Anyway, I tried them on, and actually I really like them. I don't know why. There's like nothing to them, but I really found they were quite comfortable. So once I replaced the Blundstones insoles and I put in these Miracle insoles, I'll put a link to these insoles. They sell them on Amazon. They're very cheap. You can buy them. If you don't like it, it's okay. It's like under 10 bucks. One of the things I look at when I buy a pair of boots is the slip resistant sole. I've had these boots for a year. As you can see, the soles are pretty good. They're not completely worn down. I know people have videos, reviews online where the soles are completely worn down. These aren't so worn down. As you can see, they're not bad at all. It doesn't say anything here about slip resistance. Okay. All it says here is oil and acid resistant. That refers to and has a comfort shock protection. When it says oil resistant, it does not mean it's slip resistant. It means that the oils will not wear down the boots. Now, I have not had success in finding out really what level of slip resistance. Now, what I did find out is that it's a TPU outsole. And there are websites that talk about different types of outsoles, and TPU outsoles do have a superior level of slip resistance. So from what I understand is they do provide slip resistance, but for some reason it is not mentioned on Blundstone's website. I know it's not mentioned the US site. I think in the Canadian site they do mention some level of slip resistance. So from what I read on that they are slip resistant, it's unclear. I wear them in the rain. I feel confident I'm not going to slip. I know that the Redbacks do advertise as being slip resistant soles, and that's one of their features, that they're slip resistant. Part of the reason is that it is a work boot, so it should be slip resistant. The Blundstones are not so much of a work boot as it is a stylish boot. See? Going back to slip resistance, I do have to comment that I have slipped wearing these a couple of times. The problem is when you have smooth, wet stone, this is not going to be slip resistant. It's also, if you're walking in a very dusty floor with sand, dust, you're not getting any slip resistance. This really works. The slip resistance really works when there's oil on the floor, when the tile floor is wet, or when there's water on the floor. Then you're going to get some slip resistance. When it's sandy, dusty, there's nothing for the floor to grip to, and you're sliding on the sand, so that's not going to help. But back to hiking. The surfaces were slightly wet. We've had wet stones. As you can see in the video here, I'm climbing up a rock and I'm showing that it's not gripping the stone. There is some slippage when you're climbing. It's not going to be one of those super duper omni grip soles that are going to grip onto the rocks. It's definitely great for hiking. It's definitely great, but I don't know if this is going to provide any more traction than a pair of running shoes when you go hiking. Possibly it will. Another thing is that one time I was walking down a set of stairs made out of this stone, Jerusalem stone, and when I stepped on the corner of the step, the corner of the step hit this part and I slipped. Okay, because it's like I said, if the steps are wet and you step at the wrong angle, you're going to slip. Replacing the soles. Unfortunately, these soles are welded on. These are not sewn on. These are welded on. There are different types of soles. I researched everything like I always do before I buy it. Before you invest in a $100 pair of boots, you want to make sure you're getting something good. They're lightweight. Now, the soles are welded on. What does that mean? It means that they come in the factory forced on. They're like glued on, however they're put on. They cannot be replaced. When you buy these boots, you're wearing them out through the soles, through the leather, and that's it. You can't take it to the shoemaker and say, can you take out the soles and put in a new one? This is pretty much it. That's one of the reasons why people don't like buying the welded type soles, is because you can't replace them. That's the standard nowadays. However, there is a company in Canada that I found online that will replace your soles. They specialize in replacing soles for Blundstones. You bring them in, they remove your entire outsole, and they put in a very nice, vibrant, slip-resistant, tough sole that's fitted perfectly for your boot, and they do the job for you and they send it back to you. The thing is, the downside is it's not cheap. It costs about $100. So why would you send in your boots to replace the soles? Well, once they're broken in and the leather and the fit and everything is comfortable, you're not going to want to buy a new pair of boots because then you have to break them in again. So people are happy with their boots, they're happy with the leather, happy with the look. They might want to send them in and have the soles replaced. Now let's talk about putting on the boots. I know this is kind of silly, but there's a whole dispute. Some people say you got to pull both of these things when you put the boots on. Now when you get your boots, they're going to be much tighter. Over time, the elastic here starts to expand. I found that I could easily put my boots in and just yank this up. This is not coming off. I know you're afraid, you buy the boots, you feel like it's only attached to here, and it's not coming. I had this for a year, the strap doesn't come off. You can put your boot in and then pull up the back. You don't need to pull both and open it up. Maybe in the beginning, but you could slip them on. I took it hiking, it's great hiking, it was fun. I definitely recommend them. These are definitely fun hiking boots. You can hike through muddy creeks. When I talk about I'm not talking about hiking through streams. Obviously, you're gonna ruin your boot if you walk in water that's like knee high, shin high. If the water gets in here, don't do that. You can definitely walk through creeks, through mud. It's awesome. That brings me to cleaning. So, very easy to clean. People think that you need to make it so crazy with the cleaning. It's actually easy to clean. This I have here is a Suede and Nubuck cleaning kit. If your boots are new, you may not even need this. I took these boots when they were full of mud, and I just took a shoe brush, wet it with water, and I scrubbed down the whole, as you can see in the video, I scrubbed down the whole boot all around, and they let it dry, and they looked new, which is great. When does this come in handy? This comes in handy when you have a stain on your boot. So when you have a stain on your boot, you take the brush, you have the eraser there. I had a stain on my boot like in this area over here, and as you can see in the video how I'm using this, I took the brush out, I scrubbed at it, and I removed the stain. So you can get one of these Suede Nubuck cleaning kits. This is a very old one. I think I bought this in a store. I didn't actually buy it online. I bought it in an actual store. I know, crazy. But shoe gear, it doesn't matter. Any Nubuck cleaning, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Talmart. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Target, you can get them anywhere. They sell them everywhere. Pharmacy, local pharmacy, CVS, Walgreens, I'm sure they all carry Suede and Nubuck cleaning kits. If you can't find them, you can get them online. I'll even put a link in the description. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of these boots? The pros, they're stylish. I mean, if you don't think they're stylish, then don't get them. But people who want to get the rustic black, they're kind of cool. They have that look. I actually didn't like how they looked when I first got them. I didn't like that new boot look. I like it when it looks worn down. The amazing thing about the rustic black is the more you wear it, the more rugged it looks, which I think it's kind of cool. I just don't like that it turned more gray than black. So you can get the rejuvenation spray and make it more black. But I really like it. It's definitely a comfortable boot. It's a soft leather, very soft, very comfortable. Sizing, I said it was off, and for me, that's a little bit of a frustration. I like that it's waterproof. I like that it's actually easy to slip on, even though it may not seem difficult. I like that it's comfortable, that it has traction, and it keeps my feet dry, and it's stylish. What I don't like about it, I don't like that, like I said, sometimes I do feel that I will slip if it's on a wet surface, a wet stony surface, and I'm going at an angle on a wet rock boulder hiking. It doesn't offer that level of slip resistance that I wanted. I also didn't find that they were super comfortable. I know people find the Blundstones to be so comfortable. That's probably people who have never wore a good pair of running shoes or walking shoes or a pair of Redbacks. If you go to the store and you're trying a pair of Redbacks and you try a pair of Blundstones, you'll see the Blundstones could be more comfortable. The insoles they provide are pretty generic, pretty simple, and not so special. So I feel from a comfort-wise, I think that they can do a better job. One of the other things I find an issue with the boot is the material on the inside. You can't see this, but inside where my pinky toe is that there's like a hole there. And I checked my kids' boots and I found that the fabric was wearing down. So this area here on the inside of the boot, the fabric will start to wear and then you'll start having a hole which is uncomfortable. That's one of the reasons why it's important to get the right sizing. If your foot toe is rubbing against, your pinky toe is rubbing against the fabric here and creating a hole, that might be because you don't have the right size boot. I checked, like I said, I checked my kids' boots and they didn't have a hole there. I just felt that it was wearing down. I think that's it. I don't really have anything negative about it. I really enjoy wearing it. It's been a year and I actually get this sense of enjoyment when I put them on. I'm like, I like these. They feel comfortable enough for me to jog with them if I'm late and I got to get somewhere. And they definitely feel comfortable and stylish for me to wear it. People do wear it. I've seen people wear them at weddings. I know it's kind of, okay, where I live, weddings, they're not so fancy. But people do wear them for if they want to dress up or dress down. Definitely it will look good in a pair of jeans. It look good in a pair of chinos, slacks, and so on. I wouldn't wear them with a suit. That would just look, don't wear them with a suit. That would look pretty bad. So I have to say I enjoy them and I wear them and I get this pleasure when I put them on. Highly recommend these boots. Highly recommend the Rustic Blacks, the Nubucks. They're really great, easy to clean, easy to maintain. It protects it and it waterproofs it. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to leave a link to where you can buy this on Amazon. Now, I know the price is a little high. That's why there are certain places you can get it, certain places you can't. I did not buy this on Amazon. I bought at a local shoe store. Where I buy my boots, you probably can't buy them. Anyway, so it's certain places you can get them. I will leave a link below where you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere, really. They're pricey, but they're good. They last for a while. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't know what else there is to talk about with these boots. I have everything here. I covered everything. Anyway, like I said, I will leave a link in the description below where you can get these boots on Amazon. And thumbs up if you like this video. And thank you for watching.